Good evening. My name is Mario Torres. I'm here with my good friend Haral Modi. This is the third part of my presentation for theology class. It's in reference to Hinduism, and more specifically, it's basically dealing with Diwali, the Festival of Lights. So we're just going to go through a couple of questions, and I guys hope you like it. So let's get started. Hello.
Hi.
Anyway, just quick questions. How many generations of your family have been in the United States at this point?
I am the first generation, myself and my brother, who's 3 years older than me, that were born in the U.S. So from my parents' generations, they are all immigrants. And I would say there's, the kids, kids of my cousins, that would be the second generation.
Awesome. Okay. And my next question is, how heavily influenced were you growing up as far as like in the Hindu faith
I
with your
grew up,
family in the U.S.?
I grew up very cultured, and religion was a big part of my childhood. My parents still to this day pray on a daily basis, and my grandparents were very religious. We celebrated, as a child, I remember celebrating all of the religious holidays throughout the year, and as we grew up, it dwindled down a bit, but we still celebrate the main holidays.
Okay. And just a real quick fact: myself and Haral, we were both in the military, so I know that at times it can be difficult to maintain your faith when you're outside the box, so to speak. So I guess my question now is, while you were in the Marine Corps, what were the challenges that you faced as far as like being able to maintain your faith, your religion?
The main challenges were there weren't any Hindu priests or Hindu religious services available, whereas Catholicism, Christianity, or even Judaism or Islam was highly prominent within the service. So it was difficult to find someone to relate to or talk to, or someone that understood my faith. And it typically just took a phone call home or me practicing on my own that allowed me to maintain it.
Awesome. And again, we're gonna go straight into like the Festival of Lights, Diwali. So basically, give me a brief description of Diwali and how it, basically how it directly related to you, your family, like stuff like that.
Well, Diwali is a major holiday for us in the Hindu religion because it's a representation of good overcoming evil. There's many mythological stories behind the holiday, one of which being um, the god Rama defeating an evil um, an evil person who kidnapped his wife and brought darkness into the world. And when he defeated him, light was brought back into the world. So that's the main representation of Diwali. And when Rama returned with his wife from exile of 14 years, lamps were lit throughout the village and throughout homes as a celebration of this.
Okay, and going a little bit, more in detail, like, because I mean, with all festivals, religious holidays, there's always some kind of like, food, drink, celebration. Basically, what are some of the foods that you guys make, during like traditional wise, as far as like, Diwali is
Well,
concerned?
it's usually all vegetarian meals during any religious holiday or festivity because we believe in reincarnation and we believe in life in the Hindu religion. So we don't eat meat or kill animals for religious reasons. Um, so it's mainly all vegetarian. Samosas, which you brought to your class, is one of the main dishes. It's we call it street food. That's like these pastries that have like potatoes and then like this spiced water that goes in it. There's different like fun foods that we have, and we're big on sweets. And there's plenty of Indian sweets that occur during this time frame.
And in your childhood, as you were growing up, how involved were you, in regards to the process, like the preparation leading up to the holiday?
I always helped as a kid, especially. My mom always had me in the kitchen with her, helping prepare the foods. Because as I I grew up, or in my childhood, we celebrated this holiday more because our family was so tight because everyone was together then. So it was a significant amount of food that was made, um, especially with all of my cousins. We were all kids around like the same age. All of us were a year apart. So because we were so close as children, these holidays were more prominent in my family, in my household. So I partook in these events significantly. You know, I helped light the lamps. We would go to temple. We would go to something called Gurba, which is a part of the Diwali celebration where we all dress up in our festival clothes, and like dance and do cultural practices.
Okay. And again, just to fast forward, in your adult life, more specifically, how did you go about, if it was even possible, how did you go about celebrating Diwali while you were in the military, away from home, or did you even manage to come home for Diwali?
I did not come home from Diwali because it was not viewed as a major holiday like Christmas or Easter or any other holiday in that nature, or Thanksgiving, because it's something that many people in the military do not celebrate. While I was away, I did find, like when I was stationed in Japan, I did find a Hindu temple that I was able to go to and pray whenever I needed to, and celebrate if I had the chance to. But other than that, on deployments or you know being away from home, that's something I just had to endure.
Okay. And my last question, which I think that any faith in any area, and anywhere you live, you go through, of course, your positives and your negatives. Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, any religion, any faith that you have. There's always going to be positive, negative, as far as like what you go through. So, I guess to you specifically, what are some of the positive and negative things that you have experienced in the Hindu faith growing up, in the United States?
Um, Growing up as a Hindu in the United States, I learned a lot about people and how they can be closed-minded and you know throw their derogatory remarks because they don't understand the religion, nor were they able to differentiate a religion from a culture or ethnicity. Um, a lot of times Hindu is viewed as an ethnicity rather than a religion. And growing up, I faced a lot of racism. But at the end of the day, my religion and accepting it and being proud of it brought me out to be a stronger person.
Awesome. That's basically the extent of our question and answer interview. I just wanted to give you guys a brief peek into not only Diwali, but of course, the Hindu faith. Again, this is the third part to my presentation. Of course, you already enjoyed the food, which I know everyone liked. Thank you so much. It was
Welcome.
delicious. And you'll also be able to be privy to the written presentation, which will be uploaded. All of these will be uploaded to the blog. So I do hope you enjoyed our short session. You guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you enjoy the holidays, and see you soon.